In this lesson, we are going to be talking about one of the lovely lighting tools in V-Ray, which is V-Ray Light Lister. As the name suggests, the tool allows you to list all the lights in the scene, both native 3ds Max lights and V-Ray lights, and also lets you control the most important features of any light in the scene in a convenient location. We are going to be working with this scene, which is from the mesh light lesson. I just added 5 more lights behind this main object, and they are instances of each other. So let me run V-Ray RT and open up V-Ray Light Lister. You can see we have all the lights in the scene in one convenient place, and we can control all the important aspects of our lights very easily. First, you can select any light using this light selection box. Then you can turn your lights on and off. Let me turn all of them off. Now let's start with the right light, which is light number 004, and turn it on. Then the left light. Now we can turn our mesh lights on. And finally, let's turn our background lights on too. Next, we have the name of the lights, but in case of our background lights, as they are all instances of each other, that's why we get this drop-down list, and we can select them individually if we want. And then you get all the familiar light properties like multiplier, color, temperature, unit, shadow casting, invisibility, and the rest. It's extremely useful to control your light using Light Lister, especially in the scenes that you'd be forced to deal with tons of lights. So instead of going through the scene and selecting them and modifying them individually, you can simply open your Light Lister and run V-Ray RT and start adjusting and altering your lights and your lighting. Now up here in the configuration rollout, currently we have all lights enabled, and that's why we get all the lights in the scene. If I turn selected light, you can see only the selected lights in the scene will show up in the list. If you have created any specific selection sets of your lights, you can enable selection set and choose your selection set from this dropdown, and only the lights in that selection set would show up here. You can refresh the list using this refresh button. So if you added a new light to the scene or deleted one and it didn't show up here in your light lister, you can press refresh and those changes will be updated in the list. And if you enable general settings, you can kind of control some of the light parameters globally. For example, you can tint the color of all the lights. Let me just stop RT here, because sometimes these tint color won't show in the RT. Let me just choose this red color here and run the RT again. And as you can see, all the lights are getting this red tint here. Or using global level, I can make all the lights in the scene twice brighter if I use 2 as the global level. Now let's set it back to 1 and change the global tint to white again. So that's about V-Ray Light Lister, and I will see you in the next lesson.